Welcome to Geezers and Gurus on HVAC. This is Carl Darge, and this is also going to be a Let's Really Teach HVAC video, part of our Jackson series. We are here with the homeowners today who have done a lot of work on this house to improve the heating system themselves. The idea of this whole project was to show you with the previous videos of how this can be done, because the things that need to be done, and we're going to discuss what still has to be done, are things that you're going to have issues with trying to get a heating contractor or anybody to do this. So we're going to go back to where we were. We had a house, not a year, we're about 10 months from the time we were first.
When did you get here?
Okay, we're getting close to a year.
Getting close to a year.
But the COVID virus and all the rest of the stuff that has happened, and I had a new hip put in, and that's pretty good. So we're going back to our original problem when this house did not heat and cool correctly. The second floor was not heating, the first floor was doing all right because it's next to the thermostat, and the basement was a meat locker. Isn't that right? Does that sound about right? Okay. So Paul, you're the one that I got Paul suckered in. She did a lot of the cleaning and everything. That's what we delegate her to. But I'm sure that she didn't want to get her hands into the bucket of goo for the ceiling. That sounded like a Paul job, and you stepped right up to that, Paul.
Yeah.
You got into that.
Yeah.
Now I want you to talk about the ceiling, because you're going to talk to other homeowners that have never done this, and Paul has never done this. I gave him a 3 minute how-to,
Right.
and I says go do the rest of the house. So how did that work?
It was the easy as peasy thing to do. It really was. If you can paint, you can do this ceiling. It's not a problem.
How long did it take you to get it done?
It took weeks because I'm slow.
Was there a lot
Basically
of,
took
was
an
there
hour.
Yeah, I take about an hour a day, and the hardest problem was getting to everything. It was hard to get to some of the places that needed to be sealed,
Yeah,
and that took most of the time. But the ceiling itself is easy.
it's easy.
If you can just paint, it's easy, and it made a difference.
Okay.
I was surprised it made a difference, actually.
So, so let's talk about the differences here. You people live in this house. I visit here every now and then. It's been a while since I've been here. Now we've gone through, finished the air conditioning season last year, which we really didn't get back into that much. But then it turned a heating season. You went through a winter. Let's talk about the differences in the winter time. What's been going on in the house? How's that worked since we have sealed all of the openings that came through the floors and all the floor registers here as part of this project, and now he sealed the ductwork. So how did that affect your heating in the house this winter?
Do you want me to take that? Or do you want? Okay, I got it. So what we noticed this winter was we used to have a space heater upstairs to keep the part of the upstairs at a decent temperature. We didn't have to do that this year. So the upstairs was a little bit cooler than the main floor, but didn't require a heater. It was night and day. I mean, it's perfect. It was good. It was really good.
We're now out of the COVID virus type of lockdown, which things are starting to get rolling again. And one of the things that still needs to be done, and we talked about it, we took some infrared films, and we might do that again today to see how it is. But we took infrared of the second floor on this house, and we found out that there's some great deficiencies in the insulation. So that's one of the things that you have to do.
Right.
Have you contacted anyone? Have you tried?
I have not.
Okay, with the lockdown. And we also talked about ventilation in the attic, adding the turbulators, and I found out that they are available from Granger's, but being in Jackson, Michigan here, I find out there may not be a Granger's in Jackson. So Granger's, please open a store in Jackson. We need you. So taking it now. Also, the last thing we just talked about here too is our lovely window here. Now, does this face? Which way does this face?
East.
East. So you get the strong morning sun into this thing, and it has a tendency to heat up the whole kitchen area, dining room area, which is all attached. your eating space.
Thermostat is,
And the
unfortunately.
thermostat is also here in this room, which makes it really bad. That's a nice stat, by the way. It looks pretty. What do you know the make?
I want to say it's Honeywell.
Yeah.
Honeywell, that's a good one. All right, so what we wanted to do is on this window to cut down some of the light coming in here is to go to either Menards or Home Depot or one of these. Lowell's is another lovely place that I know has it, and put the film on here so that we reflect that light and it doesn't overheat this space and it doesn't hit the thermostat. Now that film is really easy to install. All the major stores do sell it, where they sell screens and other types of things for a window. What do we say? Weatherproofing type of places. They all have that. It's well worth it to take your time. And hey, you don't have to be perfect at it. If you get it 99%, that's good. You don't have to be 100%. All right. But a change of venue here. What did you say? You decided you were thinking about moving. Now you decided to stay, and you're going to upgrade with a new door.
Right.
Instead
Right.
of the film, and we need a new door anyway, so they make them now with the film already.
Right.
With everything in there.
Right.
in
We
there,
were, yeah,
so-
we were thinking about moving, and so kind of put the brakes on some of the other stuff. You know, why should I spend all that money like on insulation and other things? If we're gonna
Somebody
move.
else's problem.
Yeah, it'll be somebody else's problem. We got it so that they can walk in the house, they can be in this, then they go upstairs, and they can feel a slight temperature difference, but it's not like 10 degrees like it was before.
Right.
So we
No,
were
that's
happy
fine.
with what we had. So
Yeah.
But now we've decided we're going to stay, so we're going to continue.
So you're going to continue
Yeah.
on continuing.
Yep.
We're going to eventually here, whenever they do get an insulator in here and someone to do the vents in the attic, which probably should be the same guy.
Yep.
We're going to film that too and meet with them and show what has to be done, because this is a major problem here. The way this house is built, when I said at the beginning is it worries me that this was actually a training house meant to train people how to do this stuff correctly, and putting children into adults and making them adults and training them to do this for the rest of their lives. And this, if this house is any indication of how they train them, we're in trouble.
This house was built by high school kids,
High schools, yeah.
basically. Yeah.
In the
So
late
there's-
70s.
Yeah. Well, the idea was good, but I don't think the supervision was.
Well, we don't either, but.
They went crazy with the three-way switches, I understand.
Well, yeah, they
Electrical,
did.
yeah, another issue.
They tried some fancy stuff and it didn't exactly work. The only one that can get the three-way switches to work is Julia. I'm not making that up. She is. She knows which way they gotta be to make them work.